Ahava and blessings. I am Aurea. I am a Reiki master, intuitive energy and sound healer, and a Magdalene priestess. And I work with women to empower them, well, not so much empower them, to remind women of their power. And part of us remembering and embodying our power has to do with healing our womb space. Our womb space is the space of infinite creation, the space of expansion, the place through which we birth projects, ideas, new ways of being and thinking into fruition, as well as we bring forth life. This space holds a lot of karmas, traumas, lineage, ancestral baggage, any emotional trauma that we have endured in our lifetime or past lifetimes, or that have been passed down through our lineage, is more often than not stored in our womb space. So part of supporting women in acknowledging and embodying their power is allowing them to dissolve and dismantle the false matrix of beliefs that lead women to feel that they are not one with their body, feel that their body, it betrays them, feel guilt, shame, anxiety, all of these negative emotions around their physical body and the physical function of your body. So we are now going through the second phase of our moon cycle. We started with the first phase, which was the moon cycle, the bleed time, our menstruation phase. I am now because I'm following my cycle just to show you how you feel. We are now in the second phase. This is the follicular phase. This is the phase where estrogen is rising, and it will reach its peak at the ovulatory phase. And the wonderful thing about your body and understanding your cycles is that when you understand your cycles, you understand how to function more efficiently in the world. As you may have caught in my first video, and if you haven't, I'm going to link it below, our society is structured in a way to support the functioning of men to their highest degree, because men are ruled by the adrenal glands, and they're ruled by certain neurochemicals in their body that allow them to perform their best. Women, however, are not, we don't function the same. Our physical bodies do not function the same. We are ruled by our hormones, by particularly the hormones that are in procreation, the estrogen, the progesterone, the follicle stimulating hormones. We're ruled by those hormones. So it is very important for women to understand and balance their hormones in order to feel healthy, to feel active, to be able to cognitively function at their highest level. So as I mentioned, second phase, follicular phase. So while the first phase of our cycle is one where we go within, where we seek quiet and solitude and allow ourselves the space to receive wisdom, guidance, inspiration, intuition. We are our most intuitive during that phase. During our follicular phase, we're beginning to kind of come out of our shell. We're beginning to come out of our cave. And I noticed this towards the tail end of my menstrual cycle. I started craving vitamin C rich foods. I started craving fruits and berries and greens, and I was like, aha, this is I'm getting up to that point where I'm building my body to function optimally during my next phase. So this is what happens to your body. If you listen to your body will tell you what you need. Now, the hallmarks of the follicular stage are we have enhanced cognitive function. We have enhanced emotional intelligence. We can communicate more effectively. We can create connections with people in a much more efficient manner. We have increased energy, increased stamina, increased endurance. Our power levels feel just they feel good. We start to feel really good in our body. I mentioned our metabolism ramps up, and this is how your body functions. And when we learn to honor our body and trust the wisdom that exists within, that's when we are able to function at our fullest. So, what foods should we be eating during this phase? This can be called and likened to the inner spring phase. So your body is beginning to kind of come out and start blooming. And the foods that are very beneficial during this stage are foods that are rich in vitamin C, that are rich in antioxidants, that are rich in so sprouts, leafy greens like kale and spinach, Swiss chard, berries, vitamin C rich foods. So if you like oranges, if you like grapefruits, if you like berries, great. Also omega-3s. We want to build up our omega-3s, so nuts, seeds, fish, wild caught, however you like to get that omega-3 into your body, get it in, because we want to nourish our body so that we experience, so that those common problems we have experienced in our menstrual cycle, the pain, the discomfort, the strong heavy cramps and the heavy bleeding, that doesn't happen when we are honoring and listening to our body. And I learned this firsthand when I was healing my own body from PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, and balancing my own hormones through my own health and well-being journey. So I'm sharing with you the wisdom that I have learned and that I have implemented with my clients. And I do hope that this serves you well. So as I mentioned, connecting with your womb, managing your stress level, I know it can seem like a daunting task, and it can kind of seem like everything is against you because the world is built for men. However, there are ways for us to nourish ourselves. One of the best ways that I would recommend is finding a community of like-minded women, like-minded people who will support you on your journey. That is the number one thing that we all need, is sisterhood, because many of us have issues also with women because we have been trained to disconnect, disassociate, to view women as the enemy and kind of they're going to take something that is ours. But that is completely the opposite. True sisterhood is hallmarked by an acceptance and a loving creation of a loving space to honor the goddess and the God within all of us. So I encourage you to go within, start monitoring your cycle. Now your cycle, if you do not bleed, I mentioned this in my first video, if you do not bleed, you still function the same way. Your body still has its phase where it goes within, its phase where it starts emerging, its phase when it's peaking, and its phase when it starts sort of ebbing again. Doesn't matter if you're bleeding or not. The cycles for women incarnated in a female form are the same. It's just that in that phase, you should look more towards the moon, because that can be an easier mirror to gauge your own cycle against. So this is an excellent phase for executing, I forgot to mention this before, my apologies, executing on the insight that you have received during your first phase. Moving forward on the project, on the seeds, the inspiration, the intuition hits that you have gotten during the first phase. So now is the time for, while we were planning before, now we are moving forward. Now we are taking inspired action to achieve the results that we desire to achieve. So I do hope that this served you. Please follow me and save and like this video. I do appreciate. I'm just beginning this series and this work on YouTube, sharing my work on YouTube. So I do appreciate the follows. I do appreciate the comments. If there are any questions, please feel free to comment below. And I will see you in my next video, which will be shortly, as I am definitely well into my follicular phase, my plan was to do this every Friday, but this might have to do Friday and Monday. So Fridays and Mondays, if you do not know, Friday is the day of the goddess, the day aligned with Venus. Monday is also the day of the moon. So these are beautiful times to connect with your womb space, to connect with your femininity, and to move from that space of pleasure, of joy, of abundance, of intuition, of alignment with your soul. So I will be putting out another video on Monday about the ovulatory phase. So do stay tuned for what foods and how best to nourish yourself during this time. And again, I encourage you, start paying attention to your body. Your body holds the greatest wisdom. Your body is the sacred vessel that you chose for this incarnation. And to fulfill your mission, your path, your purpose, your pleasure, your abundance, your joy, you chose this physical incarnation in order to do what your soul came here to do. So I honor you. I thank you for watching. Ahava, and I will see you in my next video. Sending you so much love. Please take care. Ahava.